I'm going to invite you to sit down, your legs crossed, and you can go ahead and close your eyes. And we're just going to come down into the space. So taking a deep breath in through your nose, and a deep breath, H-A-Ha breath out through your mouth. We'll do it one more time. Deep breath in, and an audible breath out through your mouth. Now as we sit here and just come into this space, I invite you to place both hands on your heart center, on your chest, and breathe and start to feel your heartbeat or your pulse. Is it pulsing quickly? Is it really gentle and shallow? Just observing how it feels to have your hands on your heart center. Our intention for this class is to guide you deeper out of your mind and into the life force energy flow of your body so that you can open space for deeper and more receptive communication and collaboration with creativity. So just breathing and feeling into that intention, letting go of any expectations that you might have for this class, any expectations of what your body should or shouldn't be able to do. We're going to completely let go of what poses should look like today and just focus on how they feel. Knowing that it's important to go to your edge, but not beyond. And that everything we do today is perfect. There's no right or wrong. There's just showing up and being here. And as you breathe, letting your breathing get a little bit slower. And when you're ready, you can bring your hands back down, palms down on your thighs. We're going to do Kapalabhati breathing, which is as you breathe in, you're going to take a deep breath into your chest, and as you breathe out, you're going to snap your belly button back, like you're engaging your core muscles. You're going to snap it back on that exhale. So you're going to have a forceful exhale and snap your belly button back. So you're going to inhale and then snap that belly button back. And as you do this, you're going to just focus on the exhale. The inhale will come naturally. So when we do it quickly, it looks a little bit like this. With that forceful exhale through your nose and your belly button going back towards your spine. So you're going to go ahead and do this for a few seconds. So taking a deep breath in through your nose and exhaling. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And starting to speed up that pace, focusing on the exhale and snapping your belly button back each time. Speeding up the pace as you go. Feeling as if you're fanning a flame or a fire within you. This breath pushes energy up through our spine and gets all that fiery energy moving in and around us. So a few more seconds here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Keep snapping that belly button back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. And take a deep breath in through your nose, filling your belly, and hold at the top. And just observe and feel into how it feels to be in your body as you hold your breath. Going to your edge, holding as long as you can. Just feeling your body today, coming down into it and out of your mind and out of your head. When it feels right for you, you can take a deep exhale out and return to your natural pace of breathing. And just sitting here in whatever hand position feels good for you, whether that's keeping your hands on your thighs, putting them on your heart, or putting them on your womb. Whatever feels right for you, I'm going to read out a quote today as you're just sitting here in this moment. So this quote from the book God and Sex by Mark Whitwell is a quote about meditation. But when I was reading it, it felt almost like he was talking about creativity. So I want you guys to listen to this quote from the lens, not necessarily of meditation, but of creativity and how we interact with creativity. It cannot be willfully done, but arises naturally in a life of intimate connection. It is there in all natural intimacies, from a kiss to the touch of a leaf or the wind on your legs, just as you cannot willfully put yourself to sleep, you cannot meditate. Trying to sleep will prevent sleep. Trying to meditate will prevent meditation. It arises naturally as a gift when the conditions of intimacy are present. When you link the breath to the whole body, the mind automatically follows the breath. The mind therefore gets linked to the whole body, which is the power, the intelligence, and the beauty and harmony of the cosmos. The mind feels itself to be arising as a function of its source, which is life itself. There's no problem to mind. You don't need to keep reminding yourself to be here now. You are here now. What I loved about that ending is that when we replaced that being here now with creativity, it reminds us that we don't need to worry about being creative. We don't need to try to force it, that we are creativity. We are literally creation embodied, and we are always creative, whether we see it or acknowledge it or not. So during our practice today, letting go of any force or any thoughts around what creativity should look like or should be. And we're just going to fully be in the present, being intimate with our energy, with our body, and with the creative energy all around us. So as you're seated here, I invite you now to breathe into your throat. So we're going to do Ujjayi breathing, which is called ocean breath. So as you breathe into your throat, you restrict the back of your throat. And it should sound similar to a conch shell when you put it up to your ear. And as you breathe out, continuing that restriction in your throat. Almost as if you're bypassing your nostrils, kind of, because you're still breathing through them. But bringing that focus to the restriction in your throat. Almost as if you make your throat a little bit smaller so air rushes in, almost like wind blowing outside, like wind blowing through the snow. This is the breath that we're going to wrap all of our movement in today, almost like we're wrapping a present for ourselves. We're going to wrap our body in this gift of breath. As you breathe in, lift your arms forward and up to the sky, inhaling. And beginning your exhale, before you move, exhale to lower your hands to the ground beside you. Finishing your exhale still as your body stills. Begin your inhale to lift your arms back up to the ceiling. And begin your exhale to then bend your elbows so that they form almost like a box or cactus arms. Beginning your inhale to then lift up to the sky. And exhale, reach your arms forward and back down to the ground. Intentionally moving it with your breath. Breathe in to lift your arms up to the ceiling. We'll do one more round. Breathe out to bring them out and down by your side. Continuing that Ujjayi breathing, enveloping your movement, beginning it and ending it in your breath. Inhale, lift your arms up to the ceiling. Exhale, cactus arms or creating a box with your arms. Inhale, reaching them back up. And exhale, lowering them forward and back down. Beautiful. Now placing your hands on your knees, we're going to do sacral circles. So circling from your hips, just in a big circle, letting your body come down towards the ground and back around. Almost like you're on like one of those carnival rides where it just like swirls you all around. We're going to do a few times on both sides, alternating as it feels right for you, whether that's after a few circles or one at a time. Just getting your hips moving, getting your body flowing, making sure you're doing both sides here. When you're ready, you can come back to seated with your body straight. We're going to take a spinal twist. So placing your right hand right behind your bottom, and your left hand across to your right knee. We're going to first lift up through your spine and twist from your lower back first. Twisting all the way up from your lower back, and then at the very end, letting your neck twist back as well. reaching your head up towards the sky and your tailbone reaching down. And on your exhale, unraveling your twist. Switching sides, cross your right arm over to your left. Inhale, twist from your lower back all the way up towards your upper back, almost like you're wringing out a towel. And exhale, unraveling. Good, and roll over onto your knees for cat and dog. So onto all fours. Knees are hip width apart, hands are shoulder width apart. And on your inhale, just like we did for those arm movements, we're gonna do this connected and enveloped in our breath. Inhale, drop your belly down towards your mat to reach your head up. Exhale, tuck your belly button in, reach your spine up towards the ceiling and tuck your head. Inhale, drop your belly, looking forwards. Exhale, reach your spine up towards the ceiling. How does it feel to begin and end each one of these movements with your breath? So often we move and then we remember to breathe. But giving yourself permission to breathe first, prioritizing the breath that gives us life. And 2 more times, drop your belly down and pull your spine back up. You can rotate your hips here, so leaning on one side and giving a big circle with your hips. Maybe they're popping like mine are. Making big circles with your hips. Going either in one direction and the other, or a few times in one direction and then the other. Just intuitively listening to your body. Do whatever feels good for you in this moment. And when that feels good, you can come to sit back onto your heels and straighten up your body. Okay, place your hands on your shoulders so your elbows are stretched out to the side. We're going to take a deep breath in here and a deep breath out. We're going to be twisting from side to side here, warming up your back. And as we do, I invite you to twist and say I in one direction in your head, and then twist the other direction and say am. Continuing your breath. So we're going to breathe in, I, twisting your body to the right, and breathe out, am, twisting to the left. This phrase doesn't even need an ending because you just are. You are everything. You are creativity, you are life, you are beautiful. I am. And beginning inhale, and we're going to twist right and twist left. Right, left, right, left, right, left. Continuing to twist, warming up your spine, breathing with your twist. Breathing into the right, out to the left, in, out, while reciting in your head, if it feels good for you, I am, I am, I am. If reciting that in your head doesn't feel good for you today, then that's totally okay. Just focusing on your breath. This practice should feel good for you. So if we ever do anything that doesn't, that's okay. You don't need to do it. I am, I am. A few more seconds here. Continuing to twist, getting that body moving. Use your breath. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Just feeling into your body, feeling into the now. How does your body feel? Is there a little bit of swirling energy through your skin? Or does it just feel calm? Maybe it feels anxious. Whatever you're feeling is beautiful. Coming back onto hands and knees, tuck your toes under, and we're going to come into downward facing dog. So lifting your hips up towards where the back wall and the ceiling meet, that crease in your ceiling. Plant firmly into your fingertips, plant them into the ground, and plant your heels as far down as they can go, really planting into the ball of your feet. Rotate your elbows so that they're facing your knees, so your upper arms rotate. And breathing here, we'll take 3 breaths here. On your inhale, find length in your spine, drawing your shoulder blades down and back so that your neck is long. And on your exhale, bring your chest a little closer to your legs. Inhale, and on your exhale, drop your tailbone down so that your thighs are long. On your next inhale, walk or step to the front of your mat. Forward fold. Welcome a bend into your knees. And you can grab onto your opposite elbows here and ragdoll it. Swaying side and side. You can shake your head yes, shake your head no. This is the first forward fold today, so if it's not super deep, that is okay. Just going as far as it feels good for you. You could bring your block in here too, and prop your hand on your block or your book. We want this stretch to feel good for you, so don't go deeper than you need to. On your next inhale, bend your knees deeply, flat back, reach your arms out and up to stand up. And exhale, bring your hands down towards your sides. And we'll stand here in Tadasana for a moment. Legs are hip width apart. There's a slight bend in your knees. Draw your hip bones up towards your navel, dropping your tailbone down. Roll your shoulders down and back. Knit your ribs together. And draw your chin back. Palms facing forwards. And just breathe. Bringing that Ujjayi breath back into your practice. That ocean breath. Restricting your throat. This pose is literally just standing. But what's so beautiful about it is that we're equally as engaged as we are relaxed. This gets to be almost our expression of creativity. We're engaged with our creative mind, we're engaged with creativity, but it isn't until we relax that we really are able to receive it. On your next inhale, sweep your arms out and up towards the sky. Exhale, flat back, forward fold. Bring your hands through your chest to come down. Inhale, bring your hands up toward to tented fingers, or you can bring them to your thighs, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step back into plank, drop your knees down and lower onto your belly. Inhale, cobra, so plant your hands, push them back towards you, your elbows in, almost like you're trying to worm yourself forwards with your arms, and lift your chest up using only your upper back. Plant your hips to the ground. And exhale, push through your hands onto all fours into downward facing dog. And we'll stay here again for 3 breaths. Inhale and exhale. Bend your knees just slightly. Push into your palms and use your core to lift your hips to the ceiling so that there's less pressure in your arms. On your next inhale, step to the front of the mat. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees deeply. Sweep your arms out to the side, flat back to stand up. And exhale, hands to your heart. Perfect. We're going to do that sequence one more time, but this time bringing your toes and heels together at the front of your mat. We're going to sweep your arms on an inhale up to the ceiling, bend your knees and sit back. So if you're sitting in a chair, bring all your weight into your heels, flatten your back, pull your core in, and exhale, fold forwards, planting your hands on the ground. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step back into plank. Bend your knees to lower your chest to the ground. Inhale, lift just your upper back, keeping your lower back on the ground, no weight in your arms for cobra. Exhale, push now through the palms of your hands, engage your core to all fours to step back into downward facing dog. And breathe. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Continuing to use that Ujjayi breathing. Not only will it envelop all your movements, That also makes breathing a little bit easier as we move. On an inhale, step your right leg forward between your hands. Turn your back toes out 45 degrees. You're gonna have heel to heel alignment here. Sweep your arms up towards the ceiling and bend into that front knee. If this feels funny on your knee or your foot or your hips, you can step your back leg out to the side a little bit further. Open those legs and bend into your front knee. Make sure your knee is directly over your heel. We want to protect your knees here. So we want that 90-degree angle. And draw your right hip back and your left hip forward, squaring off those hips. And breathe here. Feel the strength of your warrior. As creatives, we get to be brave every day. We go out there and we live our life. And we live in our creativity. So taking a moment to acknowledge how brave you are for living your truth, for creating, for collaborating with inspiration, for all of it. On your next inhale, step your back leg in about a foot, keeping your heel to heel alignment here. And exhale, we're going to bring your hands down towards your hips. Hands on your hips. Draw your hip bones up towards your belly button. Inhale. And exhale, bend from your pelvis, from your hips. So you're gonna keep your back really strong, almost like you're bending over like a beam or bending over a counter. You're gonna hinge from your hips forward to be a flat back, just as far as you can go. Feel the length in your head and your spine. Draw your right hip back, your left hip forward. And on your next exhale, you can fold down to the ground. This is a great time to bring your books in. Bring a block or a book in here. Or if it feels good to go all the way down, that's great too. Keeping your hips in alignment though, both facing forwards. Drawing that front leg in towards the midline of your body, really engaging that leg, and breathe. On your next Ujjayi inhale, we're going to plant the left hand down either into a book or into the ground. And you're going to place your right hand on your hip. Inhale, twist from your lower back, twisting from your core, your rib cage versus your hips. Twist up so that your heart is facing the ceiling, opening that right arm, opening that right shoulder. If it feels good for you, you can reach your right arm up towards the ceiling, or option to slide it down your back into your hip, your left hip crease here, so that you can twist just a little bit further. Draw your right hip back, your left hip forward, twisting just from your rib cage. And breathe. Twisting all that energy in and out. Exhale, untwist your body. And on your next inhale, bring your hands to your hips, flat back to stand back up. And breathe. Bringing that Ujjayi breath into your practice. Sweep your arms up to the ceiling. We're going to bring them together. So almost like you're clapping your hands at the top. Clap your hands together and glue them to your ears, right behind your ears. If they don't go quite behind your ears, that's totally fine too. Getting them as far back as possible. We're going to restrict our thyroid or our throat for this pose. So you're going to bend just like how we bent from our hips. Now we're going to bend. We're going to do the complete opposite. We're going to roll down from our neck. So keeping your arms here, tuck your chin into your body and roll down one vertebrae at a time. Bringing your pinky and your ring finger in front of your front toes. Bend into your front knee so that your knee, we're going to try to get the top of your forehead to touch your knee. Tucking your chin in, your throat is probably going to feel restricted here, and that is okay. Trying to get the top of your forehead curved towards your knee as much as possible. Bend your front knee as much as it needs to go to try to get that to happen. This isn't a stretch as much as it is a throat restriction. On your next inhale, keep your arms behind your neck, behind your head. Lift up to the ceiling. And take a deep breath. Bend into your front knee and step to the front of your mat. Back into Tadasana, so your toes and heels together. We're going to bring your hands to your heart. Keep a space between your palms. And breathe. Beautiful job. As we breathe here, as we just kind of restricted our throat with that movement, we compressed our thyroid, which actually is very healthy for it. It allowed us to now open up our throat chakra, which is where we get to speak our creativity. And the seed sound for our throat chakra is hum, like you're singing. I invite you to visualize a blue light in your throat, whatever color blue feels good for you. And we're going to go ahead and say the seed sound hum together out loud. We're going to say it 3 times, opening our throat chakra, getting the energy moving through it so that we can speak our truth as creativity flows to us. Deep breath in to prepare to say hum. Breathe in. Hum. And last time, as you say hum, feeling it vibrate through your throat. Deep breath in. Hum. Good. From here, step your right leg back, left leg forwards. Reach your arms up to the ceiling. Have your back foot to your front heel alignment. Open your back foot 45 degrees and bend into your front knee. We're going to do warrior 1 on the other side now. Stack your knee directly over your heel. Draw your back hip forwards and your front hip back. And draw your belly button in towards your back body or in towards your spine, lifting out of your hips. And breathe. Drop your shoulders down so your neck is long. Breathe into your Ujjayi breath. On your next inhale, step your back leg forward about a foot. Heel to heel alignment. Back toes are still 45 degrees open. Place your hands on your hips. Draw your left hip back, right hip forward. Draw your belly button in. And on your next inhale, hinging from your hips, flat back to bend forwards. And pause here. Feel the length, feel the strength in your legs that's holding you here, the strength in your core. And exhale, fold all the way down. Bring your hands to the ground or to a block. And breathe, letting your spine relax here. Draw your front leg in, engaging your thigh. Just engaging that thigh in towards the midline of your body. Pulling your back hip forwards. Using your blocks here, if it feels good for you, your books. We're going to now plant your right hands into the ground or onto a block and bring your left hand to your hips. On your next inhale, keeping your hips where they are, keep them contained and lifting to twist from your rib cage, from your torso, to open your body to the left. Bring your left elbow up towards the ceiling. And breathe. If it feels good for you here, you can reach your left arm up towards the ceiling or bend it down so that it's in the crease of your right hip behind you, or just keep your hand on your hip. Whatever feels right for you is perfect. Draw your right hip back and breathe. Twisting into all that energy. And on your next exhale, untwist your body. Bring your hands back to the ground. Take a deep breath. Bring your hands to your hips and inhale to lift flat back up to standing. And breathe. Reach your arms up towards the ceiling, clap them together. Reach them to your ears or right behind your ears. And on an inhale, tuck your chin in towards your chest, rolling one vertebrae at a time down. It almost feels like a centipede or a bug that's rolling in a circle. And touch your pinky and your ring fingers to the ground if you can reach. Bend into your front knee to try to touch your front knee to the top of your forehead. finding your balance, restricting your throat. This is not an easy pose, so I want to just celebrate you guys just for showing up in it. Trying to curve your spine, restrict your throat to touch your knees to your forehead. And on your next inhale, rolling back up to stand up. Whew, beautiful. Step back to the front of your mat, feet together, hands to prayer to your heart. Oh, and breathe. Roll your shoulders down and back. Open your chest. And just come back to your Ujjayi breathing here, taking a moment to rest. On your next inhale, we're going to step your left foot back, even further than we did before. And this time, our front heel is going to be in alignment with our back arch. Keeping that back foot 45 degrees, bend into your front knee so that your knee is over your heel, and reach your right arm forwards and your left hand back. Draw your right hip, your right thigh down and under to draw your right hip back. And draw your left thigh or your back thigh down and under to draw that hip forwards. We want to contain our hips at a 45-degree angle here, towards the corner of your mat. On your next inhale, twist from your torso, keeping your hips where they are. Twist your torso open, keeping your gaze over your front hand. As you exhale, releasing any expectation of what any of this should look like. And just showing up, just being here, being in this energy. Inhale, reach your arm forward, drop your left hand back to reach up towards the ceiling, taking a slight bend back. Exhale, come back to straighten up. Drop your right hand to the inside of your front foot and reach your left hand up to the ceiling. Keep your front knee over your front toes, adjusting as you need. Press your right bicep into your right leg. Create an anchor there. And on an inhale, option to keep your arm up towards the ceiling or reach it up over your head forwards to where your right toes are pointed. And feel the energy reach from the back knife of your back foot that's glued in the ground all the way to your fingertips. This creative life force energy that's just buzzing through you as your body is heating up. Inhale, sweep your arms back up to warrior two. Exhale, windmill your arms back down, pivot onto your back heel. We're going to come down into plank. So plant your hands on either side of your front foot. Sit back into plank. Drop your knees and sit back onto your heels. Oh, great job, guys. You guys are doing amazing. Just taking a moment to celebrate that we're here, that we get to move our bodies. Just taking note of how you feel. Whether it feels like there's a lot of energy moving through you. Maybe you just feel tired. That is great too. Maybe you just feel okay. Maybe you're feeling happy. Any way that you're feeling is perfect. I invite you to place both hands on your belly or on your womb space, on your lower belly. This is where our sacral chakra is. While our throat chakra allows us to speak into our creativity, our sacral chakra is literally where we create. It is our creative force. As individuals with a womb, we literally have the capacity to create life inside of our body, but we also have the capacity to create any of our dreams, our ideas, to receive creativity through our body, through this part of our body. And the color for this area, the color for your sacral chakra, your womb, is orange. So picture an orange color that feels good for you. Any orange. And the seed sound for this part of your body is VAM with a V. V-U-M or V-A-M, VAM. And we're going to go ahead and say it 3 times, just like we did before. Take a deep breath, inhale to prepare. Ooh, Feel the vibration of the words vibrate through your body. Inhale to prepare. Ooh, And one more time, deep breath in. Ooh, Just observe how you feel. Breathing in and breathing out. Taking a moment to rest. We're going to do another Kriya here. So as you're seated on your heels, if this bothers your feet or your knees in any way, you can sit down onto your bottom with crossed legs or sit with your legs stretched forward, whatever feels good for you. We don't want to aggravate anything today. So we want this to be a relaxed position. Whatever feels right for you to sit down. Reaching your arms forward. As you inhale, you're going to open your arms out to the side. And as you exhale, you're going to close your arms together, bringing in an undulation to your back here. If your shoulders haven't been bothering you or anything like that, you can place your hands down in front of you and just breathing, opening your chest, and exhale, rounding your spine. Does the same thing. So picking whatever feels better for your body today. Having your hands down is a little less intense, but if you're ready for the intensity, you can keep your arms open. There's no right or wrong way. It's whatever feels good for you, and please feel free to change it up as we go as well. So we're going to do this breath for a few minutes here, for about a minute or so. So getting ready, taking a deep breath in to open your arms, and a deep breath out to close. Your arms are down. You're taking an inhale to open your chest, and an exhale around your spine. We'll go ahead and keep going at your own pace. Breathing in and out through your nose. If I am, like we did earlier, felt good, you can bring that mantra back into your breath here. Just acknowledging that you are whole, that you are complete, that you are perfect. It's never about changing or becoming something else, but just realizing how beautiful and perfect you are. Inhale and exhale. Keep going at your own pace. If you start feeling lightheaded at any moment, just slow down your movements. If your arms are getting tired or your body's getting tired, keep going. The beautiful things about Kriyas, which is what we're doing right now as a Kriya, is that as you push through, this is the only time I'm going to invite you to push through during today. As you push through, you start raising your energy to a level that when you break through that other side, it just kind of washes over you. But if at any point you feel pain, as a signal from your body that that is not right for this moment, and that is great too. Just letting that go, stopping if you feel any sort of pain, and keep going. "30 more seconds. Keep moving. Keep pushing through that signal in your mind that tells you that this is too hard or you're too tired. Let yourself go through that just this one time here. 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Take a deep breath in, hold the air at the top. Hold the air in for as long as you can, willing your mind to rest, willing your body to rest. And only when you're ready, then take a deep breath out, controlling the breath out. And at that point, you can come back to your natural breath. Just resting for a moment here. In Elizabeth Gilbert's Big Magic, she describes creativity as a being or an energy, as something that is outside of us, that we get to collaborate with, that we get to partner with. And a beautiful way to be able to tap into that creativity is when we're able to fully connect to our whole body, to our own wholeness. Rather than just living in our mind, we're able to tap into the wisdom of our body. We're able to fully live in our present moment, fully experiencing everything from our senses to our thoughts, to how our energy feels, to how our body feels. And when we're tapped into all of that, into our wholeness, our completeness, then we're able to receive creativity on a whole new level with more receptivity. We open ourselves to be able to receive creative nudges, creative ideas without having to try. Just like the quote at the beginning, that when we try to force something like sleep for creativity, never quite works out in our favor. So today, letting yourself just be open, connecting to all parts of you, being receptive without any expectation of what you're going to receive or if you're going to receive anything. Just practicing being open. On your next inhale, roll over your knees onto your all fours. Or if you're already on your knees, just coming into all fours, tuck your toes under to come back into downward facing dog. And breathe here. How are you feeling? How's your body feeling? How's your mind feeling? Push down into your palms and rotate your biceps out and under to lift out of your shoulders. On your next inhale, step your left leg forward between your hands. Rotate your back toes out 45 degrees so that your front heel is in alignment with your back arch. And lift your arms up towards the ceiling, dropping your left arm forwards and your right arm back. Bend into your front knee so there's that 90-degree angle, but no further. And push down into your back foot. If this feels uncomfortable in any way, you can open your back foot up just like we did with the other one. Open your back foot up to the right. And sink down into your warrior two. Engaging your legs, but letting your upper body be loose. And breathe. Draw your right thigh down and under, pulling your right hip back, and your left thigh forward and under, drawing your right thigh forward, your right hip forwards. So your both hips are facing the corner of your mat or 45-degree angle. Inhale, rotate, keep your hips where they are, rotate from your rib cage to open your chest to the right and continue gazing over your left hand. Practicing that duality, that balance between being engaged and letting parts of yourself be relaxed. Inhale, reach your arm forward to then reach it up to the ceiling and back, letting your right hand slide down your back leg. Exhale, all the way forwards, drop your left hand to the inside of your front leg and draw your right hand up towards the ceiling. Press your left bicep into your left leg and push down through your back hip or through your back foot. Option to take your arm over your head, extending your arm over your head, or if your shoulder is bothering you, you can keep your hand on your hip. Feel the energy course from your back foot all the way up through your extended side body. You can have your hand on a block here as well, or on a book. And inhale to sweep back up. Engage your front leg to pull you back up. Breathe in and breathe out. Exhale, windmill your arms back down to the mat. Pivot onto the ball of your back foot. Step back into plank. And come down onto your knees. Crossing your feet behind you to sit back onto your bottom. Or getting onto your bottom in whatever way feels good for you. Seated with cross-legged. We're going to take an inhale and we're going to bend forwards, Hinging first from your hips, and then when you can't go any further, letting your head relax down to the ground. Just going as far as it feels good for you today. Pinning your hips down to the ground instead of letting them lift up. Pinning your hips down to get a stretch behind your legs. Maybe feel stretch in your spine. Just go as far as it feels good. We're going to stay here for just a bit. You could bring a blanket or a book in to just lean your head on if you'd like. And just chill. There's no place to be. There's nothing to do. We get to just relax. Breathing at a natural rhythm. If the stretch is feeling too intense, ease up a bit and come a little bit out of it. We want to be on your edge, but not over it. And on your next inhale, coming back up, switch which leg is on top. And bending forwards. Flat back and then rounding to rest your forehead down. If you don't feel a stretch in this position, that's great too. Then you just get to chill. If you do, finding that edge and just sitting there. Finding that duality between effort and relaxation. Being engaged with our creative minds and also receptive. Relaxing into the ground. Continue relaxing down. And on your next inhale, come back up to seated. You're going to bend your knees together and roll down to the ground one vertebrae at a time. Bend your knees to grab onto the backs of your thighs. And we're just going to tuck your chin into your chest and lift your upper back up to engage your core muscles for a few seconds here. Engage those core muscles, pulling onto your thighs. Pull your belly button down and in, and relax back down. We'll do that one more time, just to engage your core after we did so much hip work. Our core really gets to support our hips. Tuck your chin under, bring your upper body up off the ground, plant your hips down, push your belly button down, and relax back down. Good. Plant your heels on the ground, hip width apart. You're going to try to reach your middle finger to touch the back of your heel. Bring your shoulder blades together. We're going to push up into bridge. So pushing down through your heel to lift one vertebrae at a time, starting from your lower back and coming up onto your shoulders. And exhale to come down. Bringing in that envelopment or that wrapping of our breath again. So inhaling to lift our hips up. Push down through your heels. Exhale to then lower. We'll do one more time. If this feels uncomfortable in any area of your body, you can just sit here and relax. Inhale, push up. Draw your knees together, don't let them come out. Exhale, roll down. Good. Now bringing two knees together, we're going to drop your knees to the right for a spinal twist, keeping your left shoulder on the ground. Bringing in the book, the blanket, anything that you need. If the spinal twist feels too deep, you can rest your knees on the book. But we want to keep that left shoulder down. You could bring those cactus arms back in. Those are sometimes feel good on your shoulders. Or just let your arms rest down, and we'll just sit here for a moment, propping your knees up if you need to in order for that stretch to feel good and not too extreme. You could take your head to gaze to the left to be a part of that twist, or you could just gaze to the ceiling. and relax. Just acknowledging that you're here in this moment, that you're in your body, that you're fully engaged, you are intimate with life around you. On your next inhale, engage your core to lift your knees back up. Now we're going to drop them to the left. Moving your block or your book if you need to prop them. I'm going to do that. Dropping your knees to the left. Keep your right shoulder on the ground. You can either cactus your arms out like a box, or just have them down by your side. You can even reach them over your head if you want. Oh, that might feel kind of funny on your shoulder. And drop your right head down to the right if it feels good for you, or just keep looking at the ceiling. And relax. Close your eyes. And chill. Quieting your minds, there's nothing that you need to think about right now. But the nature of our mind is for thoughts to flood in and for it to process. And that is beautiful. That's what it's meant to do. So as thoughts pop into your mind, letting them just float by as if they're on a train or like a cloud floating in and floating out. You have control over which thoughts that you engage with. When you don't engage, they just disappear. So as you're seated here and relaxing, letting your mind relax too. Intentionally not engaging with the thoughts that might pop into it. On your next inhale, draw your belly button in to pull your knees back up. And then you have the option of either opening up your hips. If you want a little bit more of a hip stretch, you can open them up, keeping your toes and heels together. So like a lying down butterfly. Or you can just straighten your legs out straight for Shavasana, or corpse pose. Whichever feels good for you today. We're going to stay in this position for a few minutes and just visualize and relax a little bit more. So choosing to either have your hips open or your legs straight down. Close your eyes and sink deeper into the ground. Almost like you're lying on a bed of flowers and they're slowly enveloping you as you sink deeper into the ground, being held. You are held. You are loved. You are love. You are creative. You literally are creation itself. Let your hips get heavy. Let your back, your spine get heavy. Let your head get heavy. And I invite you to visualize a light of creativity. This could be whatever color you associate with creativity. And that color may change in the future. But picking a color and visualizing that light all around you, surrounding you. Notice how creativity is always swirling around us. Sometimes it just takes getting still and quiet to see it. And as you breathe, if it feels good for you, allowing that light to wash through the top of your head and into your body. Feel it radiate through your throat, giving it a nice hug of love. Feel it radiate into your heart center and glow brighter than it was around you. Feel that light wash down your arms, through your fingertips, twinkling at your fingernails. Feel it wash down every inch of your spine, around your hips, down your legs to your toes. Again, twinkling at your toenails. And as this light washes through you, feel it expand. Expand inside every part of your body until you can't contain it anymore and it shines out around you. Just like how you originally visualized it. Notice how creativity can be in us, around us, in our mind, around our minds, and fluid. We are fluid just like that creativity. Breathe in and breathe out. How do you feel? And take the next moment just for you. To do whatever feels good for you in this position, letting your body still stay heavy. Maybe that's observing how your body feels or engaging with that energy. Maybe it's letting thoughts come into your mind again. Taking this minute for you. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathe in and breathe out. Start to welcome some motion back into your fingers and back into your toes. Maybe letting your head fall from right to left. If your knees are open, bending them back together. And roll onto your right or left, whichever one feels good for you, into like a fetus type position. Leaning your head on your extended arm. Pressing your second hand into the ground to push you up to a seated position. And just getting comfortable. Maybe your eyes are open, maybe they're closed. Doing whatever your body is calling you to do right now. Whether that's neck circles or those sacral circles where your body's moving. Maybe it's stretching side to side. And I invite you to grab your journal. And for the next 5 minutes, just let yourself write. Or maybe there's a different creative practice that's coming into your mind. Maybe it's singing or something else, or movement, more movement, but letting yourself just flow with no motive, no intention, other than to see what comes out.